What is going on, everybody? Alongside, as always, I have my boy Noah Borntrager. I'm Will Hunt, and you're tuning into a Christmas edition of the Down South Sports Podcast. As you see, got my jolly spirit rolling right now. Got the Christmas tree on downstairs. Now look, maybe halfway through this show, whenever we start talking some shit, the backside of this hat says naughty. And that's the one I like to wear with Nicole. She doesn't like that, but I like it. I like it. So, what's going on?
Shoot, not much. Just preparing for Christmas.
Preparing for Christmas, baby.
Too cold for anything else.
No. I went golfing today.
No.
Yeah.
Dedication. That is pure dedication.
Layered up, bundled up, all to have my worst round of the year.
All right. See?
But you know what? It was a good time. It's a good time. Met a father and son duo out there. Son actually went to Carolina. He was home for the holidays, and that was about the only good thing I could say about that. So it's pretty tough. Pretty tough. Almost as tough as the Hurricanes against the Caps the other night. Came out with a 3-1 loss in Washington. We talked about it last episode. We knew it was going to be a tough game. The Caps are rolling this year. They're just that team this year that you did not expect them to come out the way they have, and they have been on fire pretty much start to finish, even with Ovi still out. I unfortunately was at not unfortunately, but we were at a Christmas party Friday night during the Washington game, so I was not able to catch any of it. I was able to catch all the notifications and my phone buzzing, or Nicole's phone buzzing, saying, up 1-0. 2-0. Oh, 2-1. Oh, nope, 3-1. So I didn't get to catch it. What were your thoughts seeing the game?
I mean, like you said, it was going to be a tough matchup. I'm shocked still. Like, looking at the roster with no Ovi, like, you just glaze over all those names.
Oh, yeah.
Dylan Strome's having Dylan Strome is having a career year, for sure, and out of nowhere. Somebody that stood out to me, not watching him, but seeing, like, kind of his stats, is Protas. And I mean, that dude can skate. Yeah. He's like a 6'4", 6'5", I think, and just motored down the ice for that first goal. Didn't take long for them to get on the board, so, kind of writing on the wall there. But Jacob Vrana and Connor McMichael scored the other 2 goals. We finally sneaked a little one past with Jarvis. So Aho got on the score sheet, which was good to see again. This is his time of year, so hopefully this is a lift-off time for him. I'm still waiting for that for Spetch, but we don't have to go there yet. I don't know. It's just Piotr played decent at best, and I think it's just a roller coaster with him in net, and I think that's going to be kind of our demise this year. Is just, again, we're not going to get those timely saves that we need for 7 games in a 7-game series. So I don't know, losing 1-3, not a good look. And then, we come back and win 3-1 against the Rangers in Madison Square. So kind of safe face there.
Which Kochetkov did have a good game.
Yes,
only allowing 1 goal, had 22 saves. So, like you just said, there's going to be a lot of give and take with Cooch, regardless. He has to play within his game, but if he's going to be your goalie, you're going to have to learn to live with that.
Yeah.
It's not something it's like, oh, we have to make him be something he's not. That's when it's not good. So, again, like you said, 3-1 one night, loss, 3-1 the next night, win. It's 2 different goalies. I do think the Rangers are not playing as good this year, at least right now, compared to the Caps. So there is a little give and take there as well with Kochetkov's performance. But I thought we played really good against the Rangers. Kind of a little bit of a slow start. I think New York came out really, really fast against us. It was good to see Roslovic get on the score sheet against his old team. I know. Yeah, after he lost a tooth and came back out. I thought he had a horrible first game against them in Raleigh, so I'm glad to see him come out with a good performance. Carrier, what else can I say about the guy? He's still phenomenal, rock steady so far this year. Aho with a goal as well. I know you love to see that. And we really shut him down. I mean, you allow that Jimmy Vesey goal, 12 seconds into the game? and then basically just put the clamps on him the rest of the game. I mean, don't get me wrong, Kochetkov made some really big saves. There were a couple posts here and there, but I thought overall we played a really good game.
No, for sure. Aho, there is a caveat on that goal. It is an empty net goal, so
Hey, man.
he's turning into Svech a little bit there. But
Hey, I was looking for
the point is
Svech.
the point.
He was on the ice, and they pulled Shesterkin, and Nicole's like, "Where's Svechnikov?
yep,
The empty net merchant. Where's he
yeah,
at?"
he's lurking. You know that man's lurking. He's gonna stay on the ice until at least he touches the puck.
Oh, no
He
doubt
doesn't
about
care
it.
what happens.
No.
He needs a look at the net.
He's got to.
No, I mean, yeah, I didn't think Aho played that well. Sure, he got on the score sheet with that empty net goal, but Roslovic did look better for sure. I was scared of that kind of matchup with him and the Rangers. So it's good to see that, especially he scores after he gets his tooth knocked out. So at least you get something for that tooth, right?
That's right.
It's different tooth fairy, but we'll take it.
We'll take that all day. I got to be honest with you, dude. I really like the Stahl, Svechnikov, Martinook line. I don't know how you feel about it. I think it works for the most part. There's definitely some questionable shifts, but when you have two guys like Stahl and Martinook that have, one, played so well together for, 4 or 5 years now? They've basically been on the same line majority of the last 5 years. And you get somebody with the talent that Svechnikov can show, I think it helps him in his consistency, at least to play a certain style of play instead of that's the word I'm looking for. Basically, the pressure to produce if you're on a line with Jarvis and Aho. If you're on a line with Stahl and Martinook, not only can you produce yourself, but you can help those guys produce. And I think the way they play that heavy physical game, he can do that on that line. And I just think it works. I really like it.
That's we've said that multiple times. Right? I know I have that Svechnikov, if he can be the offensive player on a line, I think that will help his game. So I don't know how it really works long term, if that's the fit. But I do think that takes some defensive pressure off of him. And like you said, he can kind of play a little bit more free, I think, with that line pairing. But I think that also kind of makes Robinson out of place, and there's other people, Carrier, like where did they fit in now that, you've had to basically demote Svech to that line. And that's the issue, is like, yeah, that works well for these games, but where does it do to the other three lines? And I don't know, you need more out of Svech, again, in my eyes. If we're a small market team, paying him that much, Aho, Svech, we don't even have to talk about KK. That's a joke of a contract at this point. So, like, all those big guys, we got to produce, and that's just not happening right now. So.
I do agree with you there. It's I think the one person that really struggles from that line change is Natchez, because then you look at Natchez's line and you put him with a Eric Robinson and a Kokoniemi, and it's kind of like,
what is he supposed to do?
He's had a phenomenal year, and he can still create, but who's going to finish? He can't pass it to himself. And he tries, he does, but you know what I'm saying. Like, he can't do it all on a line like that.
Well, that's not the kind of hockey that got him this hot start either, right? It was a lot of assists. The majority of it was assist, and then the goalie was playing that pass, and that's when he got a lot. I mean, obviously he has an elite shot, but there's no respect for. If I was a goalie, I'm zeroing in on Natchez when that
100%. You're just going to cheat to that side the whole time. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think that again, that's the issue. Yeah, in theory, that line looks great with Svech, Martinook, Stahl, but the other three lines, I think it juggles them and makes them worse. So is that trade off worth it? Probably not.
No, definitely not.
I like Carrier on that line, or Robinson. I think that's the better look in my opinion, but
I'd like to see Carrier and Jackson Blake with Natchez.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would work. In my mind, it makes sense. Video game wise,
who's centering that line?
It makes sense.
Who's centering?
Natchez.
He just doesn't play. I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's a full trust.
I still think that's his natural position, in my opinion.
I don't disagree. I mean, he's more in the center of the ice, and that helps his game. So he can go to.
At least you have two guys that can finish, and then you also have a physical presence in Carrier.
Yeah.
And I think that would give Blake even more confidence to play with a player like Natchez, and then also have that defensive guy in Carrier that can kind of cover up a mistake or two here and there if you make one. So, I don't know. Something to think about, something to juggle. Svetch has got to produce more, obviously, and play to the best of his ability. He'll have the chance to do it tonight. Play in Nashville at 8 o'clock. And then the 27th and 28th, we have the home and home against the Devils. So we're 2 games into the 4-game road trip we talked about last pod. And so far, we're 1-1. I don't hate that at all. I kind of expect us to start it 1-1, see where we'll go. Nashville has been just absolutely atrocious so far this year.
They've been hot lately, though.
They've came. Yes, they've been better, but and you expect that. They made a big roster shakeup. There's a lot of new guys on that team. It's still going to pain me to see Brady Shea in Nashville yellow tonight. It doesn't look right. I don't like it. But yeah, I mean, they're still a super talented team, so you can't go in there expecting to win tonight. You got to come in and play your game and play a full 60 and hopefully come out with 2 points. So we'll see. We'll see what they.
In that too, like that.
Yeah.
He's not. Again, none of them have had a great season, but the talent is there.
It's there.
That's what scares you.
That's exactly
it's a sleeping
right.
Giant. Like your Tar Heels.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna censor what my partner here just said because it was completely wrong and uncalled for. Moving on to the Tar Heels of basketball. They got to win. They won a game. Oh my goodness. Everything's great now. Everything is fixed. Hubert's coaching great. We're rebounding. Oh wait. We're still not doing any of that. We did win. Big win in Madison Square Garden against UCLA, 76-74. And, we yet again had a slow start. I think we were down by, I want to say like 20 or 23 at one point in the first half. We stormed back like we have many games before this. I'm going to say it again. I've said it before. Ian Jackson is an absolute baller. That kid makes shot after shot after shot. I don't care if he plays defense at an elite level. He is the best shot maker currently on our team, even over RJ Davis. Now, we did come out with the win, but let's go back to the struggles we have had. Noah, do you know who our leading rebounder was in this game?
I'm going to go with a crazy guess here, a guard.
Okay. Close. I will say this. He is a forward. It was Drake Powell with 5. Now, the second leading rebounder was RJ Davis.
That's what I was expecting. So.
Yes. Now, I will say he was tied with Seth Trimble and Jalen Washington. Jalen Washington, I saw for the first time, I feel like this year, get an offensive rebound and a putback. It was unbelievable. It was one of the craziest things I'd ever seen. And then, RJ, he did add in 17 points, Trimble with 12. Elliot Cadeau, 8 points, 5 assists, 5 turnovers. So, like I said last pod, assists and turnovers, I like to cancel that out. Basically, you had 0 assists because you had 5 turnovers. Still, the rebounding is an absolute problem. I listened to Theo Pinson's podcast. It was a little segment of it this past week, and they had Raymond Felton and Justin Jackson on there, and they were talking about the Tar Heels so far this season. And Theo didn't want to put really any of it on Hubert. He put it on the players because he said they're the ones out there executing on the court, and I do agree with him. The players are out there executing on the court, and they have to do what the coach says and actually produce that into winning plays and playing actual basketball on the court. But you cannot sit here and tell me that Hubert Davis cannot change the way he can make these guys start a game. That's what a coach does. I understand the players could basically just flip the bird to Hubert and say, we're not doing this, but that's not... I think this team loves Hubert. And I just feel like there's something you got to do. Look what Roy Williams used to do. If they started the game like that, it could be one of the starters. It could have been 3 of the starters. It could have been the whole group of 5. You know what he used to do? He sat all 5 of their asses on the bench for 4 or 5 minutes to start the game. It didn't matter if it was a small game or a huge
kind of
game.
Depth, though. Do you think they have that same depth?
But even the years he didn't have the depth, he did it. He did it every year that I saw that man coach basketball at Carolina. He did not give he did not get, well, I mean, there was a year or two we missed the tournament where we didn't have great teams. 2012 or 2013. I think it was 2012. May have went to the NIT. It was not a good year. Anyway, that's just what he did. That's an example. He didn't care who it was or if it was the whole group of 5. He put them on the bench and said, y'all let me know when you want to go play. Because until then, these guys are going to play. And Raymond Felton even said that on the podcast. He's like, he would sit all of us down even if it was just me that messed up. And he would say, Raymond, let me know when you're ready to go out there and lead the guys. Because right now you're not. I'm not saying Hubert needs to do exactly that, but there's something that has to happen when we start games so incredibly flat. And Theo also came in and chimed in and said, if we started every game and played the full, 40 minutes like that, we'd win. Of course we would. Every team would have a great chance to win if they played their best ball for all 40 minutes of the game, but that's not how it works. You're not going to do that every damn game. So rebounding is still atrocious. We're still soft to start the game, and then all of a sudden we have this miraculous hope and come back for 17 minutes of the second half, and then we have to, get a stop and win on a last-minute shot. It's still not good. Yes, I'm super glad that we won the game, but it easily could have been 76-74 the other way around, and we'd be talking the exact same way.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't catch any of it, but they need to pick it up overall. So good to see them win, though, for the boys, the Tar Heels. And speaking of college basketball, my Wolfpack, it's a tough matchup, real tough matchup.
Yeah, top 25. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, not top
4-9. 4-8 coming into Raleigh Broncos.
What is that their mascot? The Broncos.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, State played well in that game, though, so it was good to see. Obviously, the opponent's not the best, but, I mean, they went on 52 points in the first half is cooking. So going into half at 52-23 is doing something, in my opinion. And then, I mean, they were shooting well, 65% from the floor, so and then a lot of assists. 21 of the 29 baskets were off an assist, so good to see the ball movement. Jaden Taylor might have listened to the pod. I don't know. We only had like 3 listeners last episode, so he might have been one, but he balled out for me. So he finally had 16 points, I think after a 7-point performance or something. So I think if he can start leading the offense and shooting more threes and more accurate, I mean, he's 3 for 4. I think that's big time. So. And Marcus Hill was a little bit more of a facilitator than we've seen, which was, again, good to see, finally getting figure out his kind of role in this offense, because that was the big transfer, but he just hasn't really panned out this year. So, I don't know, State sitting at 8-4, not a bad position to be in. They play Virginia on New Year's Eve, so kind of kicking off ACC play that way. Tough, but definitely 8-4 going into the ACC. I'll take it, honestly, with how we played early on. So, yeah. Did you get a chance to watch that game, State? I don't know why you would.
Look. Even though you call us the Tar Holes and you do all this, I would have watched it.
Oh, yep.
But I didn't have time, unfortunately. I really wanted to watch it. I almost recorded it. It was really close. Yeah. It was really close. But
it's must-watch TV, man.
Yeah. It's greatest show on hardwood. Is that what it is?
That was like 40 years ago, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how ACC plays out coming up. Obviously, I don't like to say this, but Duke is atop the ACC currently at 10-2. SMU right behind them at 10-2 as well. SMU just taking over the whole damn conference. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Carolina still has a lot to work out. I think State has, in a lot of ways, I guess you could say overperformed, especially from what they lost from last year's team. to go into ACC play with that record. I completely agree with you. I think that's awesome. And we'll see. We'll see. A lot of things can change in conference play, so it's just getting ramped up. There's a lot of time to fix a lot of things and a lot of time for a lot of shit to fall apart. So we'll see. But speaking of SMU, we're going to transition a little bit here. Did you watch playoff games?
Oh, yeah.
Did you catch those?
For the most part.
For the most part?
Let's be honest. There are some ugly matchups there.
Yes. So it started Friday night, Indiana at Notre Dame. Final score 27-17. It was not that close. That game was over in the first quarter. Notre Dame defense just absolutely dominated, and the offense scored enough points to get it done. So that one was not close. After that, I was hoping for a good showing from the SMU Mustangs at Penn State. That crowd was absolutely rocking. Started playing Mo Bamba, and as soon as they played Mo Bamba, I knew it was over. There was no helping SMU. Kevin Jennings, I believe, had like 4 interceptions. 2 of them were pick sixes. He had a fumble. It was really, really bad. SMU's defense, they started pretty good, but Penn State, finally, their offense got rolling, and their defense just, like I said, just absolutely annihilated Kevin Jennings and that offensive line. Not putting it all on the O-line because Kevin Jennings made some absolutely boneheaded plays, especially in the start of the game with those 2 pick sixes in the first quarter. That was just horrible. Just horrible. And it was not a good look for the ACC, even if it's your first year in the conference.
Yeah. No, I mean, both those games, like you said, that first game, the Indiana game, I texted you, I said Indiana, like first quarter, Indiana looks bad. Yeah. And like they never looked better. I think just, I don't even know. Notre Dame just kind of took their foot off the gas and they said our defense is going to play fine. Yeah. So 27 points is plenty.
They knew 27 was plenty.
And that's exactly how they played. So again, I tuned in and I was out pretty quickly after that. Yeah. And same thing with the Penn State game. Unfortunately, I definitely thought SMU was going to give them a better showing. So. I mean, the 2 Penn State running backs combined for 160 yards and 3 touchdowns too. So, yeah, the defense played well, but the run game was elite too. So that's a good combo going into playoffs. Defense and run game usually they don't slump. So, yeah, I mean, tough 2 games to open up the college football playoff when you're sitting there with Alabama outside. They're all chattering about we're one of the best teams, all this stuff. So. And I think we can get into it a little bit later maybe, but that's it. There's got to be something of value for the losers of the conference tournament games. Because, like, that could have, you can't have Alabama come into there. But that's a different discussion. So, what about the other 2 games? Did you catch both of those?
Yes. So, after watching those 2 games, I was really hoping for a good game. With Clemson and Texas. As you know, last pod, I did pick Clemson to upset Texas. That obviously didn't happen. It was the closest game out of all the playoff games. At one point in the fourth quarter, Clemson was only down 7. They cut the lead to 7 and then allowed Jaden Blue to run for like a 77-yard touchdown. Yeah. Texas had over 250 rushing yards. Jaden Blue with 146 and Wisner with 110. And Wisner even went out in like the early third quarter with an injury. So he easily could have rushed up there right around where Blue had. Texas really just, Clemson had no answer. Clemson's defense looked absolutely atrocious. I thought Clemson offense came out and played a lot better than I thought it would. I thought Cade Klubnik made some really good throws and good plays. He ended up with 336 yards, 3 tutties, and 1 interception. So would like to have the interception back. But again, against Texas defense, I think they played really, really good. Quinn Ewers, still, I do not think he is that guy. I really don't. I watching him play, and I know he's got an ankle injury and he's banged up, but he just I don't see that he's the quarterback that can lead you to a national championship. I really don't. He's got a great arm. He knows how to run the offense. He knows the offense. But and maybe it's that feeling in the back, or that thought in the back of my head, knowing that Arch Manning's on the bench, and every time that man comes in, it's like liquid gold.
Electric. Yeah,
it's electric. It's great. They only bring him in for 4th and 1 plays. I don't know why. Like, literally, it's like you're trying to save Quinn Ewers' body, and you're putting literally your golden goose for next year out there to get killed. Anyway, so yeah, I thought obviously that was the closest game out of all of them. It sucks to see the ACC go 0-2 in the college football playoff, but as you mentioned a little bit ago, Chapel Hill will obviously change that. So tell me what you thought about the Texas Clemson game.
I don't recall saying that.
I just had to squeeze that in there real quick.
No, I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with you. I've never honestly been too impressed with yours. Like, healthy, not healthy, ankle, whatever excuse you have. I mean, I don't think he has to do anything but not turn the ball over for Texas to have a good shot at the national championship. I mean, you're talking about 2 running backs who just annihilated Clemson's defense. I don't think Clemson's defense is that good, but I mean, you're letting up over 200 rushing yards to 2 guys. Again, same thing as Penn State. That's a good recipe for success. So I was surprised by, honestly, Texas's defense more than anything.
Yeah.
I think that was my worry for them. So I know they ended up letting up 24 points, but I think they were feeling pretty good coming out of half at least. I did think Clemson, if they could have played the way they did in the second half, the whole game. Here's the Theo Pinson thing, right? If they could have played the way they did in the second half, they would have had a better shot. But no, I mean, I think talent just showed out for Texas, and that was the discrepancy, in my opinion. So
yeah, absolutely. I'm with you, dude. And what I thought was going to be the greatest game of the first round, Tennessee at Ohio State, turned out to be the biggest damn blowout. Ohio State came out and basically held up both middle fingers to every media pundit that said they're soft, Ryan Day's leaving, he's getting fired, he's a terrible coach, all of the flag planting hoopla, all of this stuff. And they just came out and dominated from the first snap. Unfortunately, your boy had a parlay, and Tennessee winning would have netted him a little over 200 bones, and that didn't happen. So
at least they showed you what was going to happen pretty early. So you weren't sweating that one out.
Yeah, but I still had hope, and the hope disappeared very quickly. Yeah, that was just not Tennessee did not have a good game. And again, Ohio State has a ton of talent. They were at home. Their fans were rocking. I do think they had a lot to prove after hearing all of the stuff in the news about the flag planting, the loss to Michigan, playing for their coach, Ryan Day, because they heard all the stuff that he's had to go through. So I do think they came out and really just, like I said, put up both middle fingers and said, we're still Ohio State. We still have a ton of talent on this team. We're going to play hard, and they damn sure did.
Yeah, I mean, the offense looked incredible. Will Howard with over 300 passing yards, and then Travion Henderson, I mean, two touchdowns? So
yeah.
2 rushing touchdowns, so talk about a freaking
talk about another team that has 2 phenomenal running backs.
Yeah.
Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson. That's
you better with $20 million. You better.
Yeah, you better have 2 good guys.
But no, I mean they look real good. I don't know. I'm still not sold on them, to be honest with you.
Oh, I'm not either, but I do think they still have all the pieces to win it all.
I think
they easily do. Yeah, it's just consistency and matchup. I don't think Tennessee was maybe the greatest matchup for them. But Tennessee's cornerbacks and their defense, the back half of that defense, the defensive line is phenomenal for Tennessee. They've got some really good edge rushers, but their secondary just really, really struggled against that top-end talent that Ohio State has. I mean, Jeremiah Smith, dude's a true freshman, out there looking like he could be the number 1 overall pick already. He would look great in Panthers blue. Yeah, he would look great in Panthers blue, baby. You know who he's related to?
No.
That's Geno Smith's cousin.
Huh.
Yeah.
You're about to have me out here saying Steve Smith.
No,
Just
boy,
the last
boy, I wish. Oh, it'd be match made in heaven, baby. But I'm getting sidetracked. He's just a hell of a player. I mean, to be probably 18 years old and out there absolutely dominating.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah. So, again, I'm with you on I don't know if Ohio State can do it. They have every bit of the pieces to be able to do that, but it will come down to coaching and it will come down to matchups, which is going to happen with really a lot of the teams left in the field of play because a lot of them have a hell of a lot of talent. So we'll see. I'm upset that the games weren't as good as we thought they would have been. That kind of sucked, but we're on to the next round. We'll pull this up here. Here is the updated bracket. Let's go ahead. You just want to go from top to bottom?
Yeah, all right.
And just go from there. So we've got Arizona State and Texas. Now, I would like to say, I would love to say that I think Arizona State can keep up with Texas. Because watching that conference championship game, the Big 12 championship game, Cam Scattaboo, that dude's a dog. He is a dog. Now, he's done that against Big 12 competition, which Texas is no longer in the Big 12. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a closer game than a lot of people think. I don't think Texas is going to go in there and flex their muscles the way they want to. I think Arizona State has a lot of momentum on their side, a lot of people to prove wrong, kind of in the same way that Ohio State proved a lot of people wrong. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, but I do think Texas comes out with the win.
Do you know what the spread is in that game?
13.5.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
14. I was just looking
Yeah.
at that on the sports books because
So,
like
yeah.
that matchup. I'm liking that for Texas. But I don't know. I'm not at 14, but I guess the sports books are onto you. So I don't know. I think Texas is gonna have a field day, in my opinion. Scapoo is good, and I think he honestly deserved more conversation for the Heisman. By the way, he wasn't even thought about. But I mean, when you have, we'll talk about him soon. But yeah, there's a better running back out there, and I don't know, Texas. I'm going to take Texas here all the way. I like them. This is a good, easy matchup for them, in my opinion. This is probably this is who I'd want to face. If I was coming out of that first round, looking at who you're matching up against. So they drew the straw. They drew the right straw there. So I'm going Texas all the way. What do you got for the O versus O matchup over here? Oregon versus
the
Ohio State?
rematch. The rematch. That was a hell of a first game they had in the regular season up in Eugene with Will Howard and the brain fart he had sliding down, not knowing how much time was left on the clock, and game expiring. I think it was like a 3-point win or a 7-point win. I can't remember. It was one possession game. That should, again, on paper, should probably be the best game of the second round. Me saying that now, it damn sure won't be. It'll probably be the worst game. I don't know, man. Ohio State's got a lot of momentum rolling right now, but I just love Dan Lanning. I think he is probably the best coach in college football right now. He's fiery. He's passionate. Oregon has a lot of talent. It's not like the Chip Kelly Oregon Ducks back in the day where it was all offense and no defense. Their defense ain't no joke. They got a lot of athletes, a lot of thumpers over there. And again, Dan Lanning is a defensive guy first and foremost. And then obviously the offense is the offense. They're still the Oregon Ducks. And I think it'll be a good matchup. Will Howard, why am I blanking on Oregon's quarterback's name?
Dylan Gabriel.
Yes, Dylan Gabriel, former USC, UCF, and Oklahoma quarterback. Good Lord.
Any other colleges there, sir?
Yes. There was, side note, there was actually a phenomenal meme I saw. I meant to send it to you. And it was this guy, and it was like NFL players announcing in 2037, and it was just,
What you just did.
Yeah, Jackson Arnold, UCF, Oklahoma, USC, Ohio State. And he just it kept getting more ridiculous. It was priceless. But I don't know, man. This one is a coin toss for me. it wouldn't have been if Ohio State wouldn't have won the way they did against Tennessee. I would have said Oregon, all the way, but they're obviously coming off a 1 week break. Ohio State has freshly played, which can be good and bad, but I think they have a lot of momentum on their side. With that being said, I'm still going for the Ducks. I'm picking the Ducks. I'm never, ever going to pick Ohio State in my life. I do not care if they have the reincarnation of Tom Brady and Randy Moss and Jerry Rice and Lawrence Taylor. I don't give a damn who they would have. Not a Buckeye fan, not a Buckeye guy. We're going with the Ducks.
Well, you can make some money then, because they are favored. Ohio State is favored. So,
what's the spread on that game?
The spread is 2. It's at 2. So
Okay.
The matchup is going to be there, but it's plus money. Oregon's plus money, plus 110 on ESPN at least. So, so if you want to make some money, go ahead, go over there.
I like money.
Yeah. I'm surprised, honestly, at that, looking at that. But like you just said, Ohio State just showed who they can be at their best. So if they can play that way, I mean, it's Ohio State, but I honestly don't see them replicating that performance. And I think that's kind of where Ohio State's at in my eyes. It's just not quite enough. They get there and they just they flop. At some point in these next 2 games, they're going to flop. I don't think they're not going to make it to the championship. Next 2 games, they're going to flop, and you can quote me on that. So
Okay.
let
Let me clip that real quick. Let me go ahead and clip that so we can put that up.
I'm honestly going to go Ohio State though.
Whoa!
Just
Easy, Pat McAfee.
Yeah. Yep.
Damn, son. Okay.
They're going to flop, but I just don't think it's now. So I think it'll be against Texas next round.
Okay. Hey, again, I can see that. It's a coin flip for me. It's, again, $20 million NIL roster. You have every bit of talent in the world. They easily could win this game. I just can't bring myself to do it.
It'll be a good one. Like you said,
Yeah.
I mean, on paper, looking at it, I think this game and we'll discuss here shortly the Georgia-Notre Dame game. I think those are the two best ones.
For sure.
But we'll go to the Penn State-Boise.
Yeah,
game.
give me your thoughts on that one.
That was going to be an interesting one. But, I mean, Penn State just showed you who they are. I mean, I think a little bit of that, and I love the fact they play at home, but I think a little bit of that was the crowd. And I think that should never be discounted in college athletics is a home crowd, a raucous home crowd. Like some of those guys haven't played in those environments like that, 18 years old, like you just said, a true freshman going in there. So, I don't know. Penn State's looking good in my eyes. I think their defense is, again, like that is run game defense, and that's a recipe for a lot of success in my eyes. So I'm not saying that the Boise State doesn't have a good run game. I'm not saying that at all, but I think the defense is going to separate the game in my eyes. So what do you think?
I'm with you. I think Penn State's defense is really, really dominant. I think they have a lot of good pieces. I was actually able to watch a lot of Abdul Carter. I know we've been talking about when we discussed the Panthers' possible picks for the draft next year coming up on the defensive side of the ball, and that dude is fast. He wears number 11 because of Micah Parsons at Penn State, and he damn sure looks like Micah Parsons did at Penn State. He has elite speed off the edge. I can't remember the other guy's name on the opposite side, but he is also a game wrecker on the defensive side. They have 2 stud linebackers. The secondary hits hard, covers well. I don't think Boise State has the players to get it done. There's going to have to be a lot of really good X's and O's drawn up for that offense to be able to produce against that defense. I don't think they're going to be able to stop Ashton Genty, but if you can make it a one-dimensional offense and just have them running the ball and you can cover the receivers in the passing game, that's a recipe for success. Watching Penn State's offense, like we mentioned earlier, 2 really good running backs. Tyler Warren at tight end is probably one of the best tight ends, if not the best in the nation. And then Drew Aller at quarterback. That dude kind of reminds me of Josh Allen. Big,
He's sneaky.
physical, sneaky fast, has a rocket for an arm. Not super accurate yet in his career, I think he just started playing quarterback like his sophomore year of high school or freshman year of high school. So he's not like a lot of these kids now that start playing quarterback at like damn near 5 years old and all this crazy shit. But anyway, I think Penn State has a pretty complete team. I'm going to be cheering for Boise State because I love a good underdog story, and I think Ashton Jeanty is an awesome human being, awesome player, but I think at the end of the day, the Nittany Lions are going to come out on top.
Yep.
So.
Yep. No, I agree. Like you said, just more complete team. I think you can only contain Jeanty anyways. So
yeah,
I think that's the only thing
he's gonna. It's like you're playing whatever sport you're playing. The Edmonton Oilers, McDavid's gonna get his opportunities. If you're playing in the NBA nowadays, Anthony Edwards is gonna get his points. Like who are you going to stop on the other side of the court or on the other side of the defense or the offense besides Ashton Jeanty to be able to come out with a win? So, yeah. Penn State with a win there. Georgia, Notre Dame. I think this also has a chance to be one of the best games of the second round in the exact opposite way of the Oregon-Ohio State game. This is going to be a battle of the best defenses. Notre Dame's defense, you obviously you look at this matchup, you're like, oh, Georgia, their defense is unbelievable, blah, 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 blah. If you have not watched a Notre Dame game yet this year, their defense, arguably top 3 in the country. Year to date. They have been phenomenal. They've got some studs on the defensive side of the ball. I think the defense is going to do what the defense does because I don't think Carson Beck is playing. I could be wrong, but I don't think he's playing in this game. And even if he is playing in this game and it's between him and Riley Leonard, I think that's going to be ugly against those two defenses. I don't think they're going to be able to produce that much. This is going to be a hard-nosed, low-scoring defensive game with a lot of rushing yards. So what running back, in my opinion, is going to be able to go out and break through that defensive line, those schemes they got set up for him? And we'll see. I mean, this one's tough. I'm going to go. Give me the dogs, baby. We're going to go with them dogs. Mainly because I think Kirby Smart is just that much better of a coach than Marcus Freeman at this point in time. I think Kirby's going to have them guys ready for the moment. Do I think Notre Dame can win this game? Absolutely. It's not like Georgia is that much better than Notre Dame this year. It's pretty neck and neck, but I think the edge that's Georgia's going to have is Kirby Smart. So I'm going to go with Georgia.
Yeah, they do not have Beck. Carson Beck underwent UCL surgery, so he is out for the playoffs. So
yeah,
I think honestly that alone swings it for me. As you just said, Notre Dame has an elite defense going up against a backup quarterback, and I think it's as simple as that. Like, in my opinion, it all falls on Riley Leonard. That's where it's at. I think the defense is going to keep you in the game, and I think Georgia's offense is going to do enough to put some points up. They have too much talent, and like you said, Kirby Smart is going to scheme up some stuff to get his guys open. So, and he's known this, right, that he's not going to have Carson Beck. So he had a whole week to just think about his matchup and how he's gonna scheme it up. So I think it falls on, like I said, Riley Leonard. What is he going to do? And I am not sold on him, so I'm with you. I'm with the dogs.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. It's going to be an interesting game. Again, it has an opportunity to be a really good game, but at the same time, it has the opportunity to be a really ugly game. Yeah, unless you were just a huge fan of defense.
Yeah, it's not going to be. I mean, I would be surprised.
If you're a fan of defense, this is the game for you, buddy.
I don't. Totals at 44. The next lowest is 51. So
I'll take the under.
Arizona.
I'll take the under on that one. But yeah, hopefully the second round turns out better and produces better than the games we saw in the first round. I'm trying to will that into existence. Excuse me, I was out in the cold for a long time today. We'll see if that happens, but I'm excited to watch it nonetheless. So we'll have that coming up, I believe, the beginning of next week.
Yeah, we definitely need some better matchups.
Absolutely,
better games.
Absolutely. We need some better predictions too, because I picked Clemson, which that was a hot take. I know, and then we both picked Tennessee. We got it right on the Penn State and the Notre Dame side of things, but yeah, we got to step it up, man. We got to step it up.
I was 3 for 4. There was an ugly loss in there.
I know
The
you were
worst
3 for
matchup.
4, but look, this is the Down South Sports Podcast. Damn it, we expect perfection.
Okay, I got you.
God, we gotta.
Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, and Georgia.
If we start, getting perfect predictions, we might get 4 or 5 viewers instead of 3.
Hey, you might be onto something there.
I like that. Anyway, we'll check back in with that after that round has happened. Now, let's talk about them boys down in the Charlotte area.
Yeah, they're not in the Raleigh area. They're not shown here.
No. They don't like to show them on local channels. Thank the Lord I had the ticket and was able to watch them. Sorry, brother. Sorry about that. But hey, Carolina Panthers come out with an overtime win over the Arizona Cardinals, 36-30. And you know what? You know who got him that win? Got his overtime redemption? Chuba Hubbard, who also gave a valiant effort for your fantasy team in a losing effort, I might add. Sorry, I know that stinks,
Wow.
but I'm not in the playoffs, so I got to talk a little junk here. Yeah, it was awesome to see. Me and Nicole were watching that game, and I told her when it got into overtime, I said, Chuba's, he's going to want the ball. He's not going to fumble it if he gets the ball. 2, he's probably telling Dave, give me the damn ball. Like, I want to go win the game. And damn sure did with those last 2 runs. A huge second to last run to get the first down. And then I thought they were going to just kick it. I thought they were just going to have Pinheiro kick it, and I was hoping to God they wouldn't, which they didn't.
Yeah.
And Chuba just bounced it out, broke 2 tackles, and, man, just high-stepped it into the end zone, and it was awesome to see. With that being said, Arizona was fighting for their playoff lives. Obviously lost the game. Defense, again, shaky at best. I tell you what was the biggest surprise to me, and let me start with this. We talked about this last pod. Because of the way Bryce looked and the team as a whole looked against the Cowboys, we wanted to see Bryce not continue to regress, but have some amnesia, come out, and just play the way he'd been playing. And I thought he played a hell of a game. I thought he was solid all the way around, and the thing I was alluding to was Bryce Yard had 5 carries for 68 yards, one of those being a 34-yard run. Now, when people think of Bryce Young, they just say, oh, he's small, oh, he can't see over the offensive line, he can't do this, he can't do that. Okay, well, let's just let's take a look here. Where is the play at? So we have got, here we go. That's what we want to see. Get that muted. Little 34-yard run right here. Went through 2 or 3 reads, went through his progression. Sneaky fast. Sneaky athletic. He's very savvy the way he runs the ball, which I think is very good, especially for the size. And then you even have plays like this. So sorry for the random audio we have in here, folks. But we got Bryce here. Oh, gorgeous. Have a little edit here. Big hits. Look at this. Go ahead. Run him over, Bryce. Get up. Wait. Yeah, give him that first down. Selly, baby. I love it. He is electric when he runs the football. And when I mean electric, I mean it just opens up his game to another level because you have to account for his legs as well. I had another video pulled up, but I think I accidentally exited out of the tab. There was a play that the Cardinals were blitzing, and a dude popped right through the line. Bryce got it off, went for like 10 or 15 yards first down, took one right to the mouth. I mean, helmet, face mask to face mask, right to the mouth. Knocked him over, still completed the pass, got the first down. He gets up, looks at the guy, starts smiling and laughing, gave him the first down, Selly again, and got right back to the huddle. That's my quarterback.
That's Bama Bryce, baby.
That's my quarterback right there. I thought it was great. And you know what he did? He got back on the ladder. He got back on that damn ladder and started just slinging it. I mean, some dots to Adam Thielen. He did all that without Xavier Legette. He was hurt in the game. Dropped it in a bucket to David Moore. Hell of a throw. Yeah, I think he had an overall complete game. I don't think he made a lot of mistakes. I think he played pretty mistake-free football, and again led us to a game-winning drive to win the game.
I'm pretty sure he graded out as the best quarterback this week, like passer
Oh,
grade.
oh, really?
Yeah. So might be onto something here.
Really?
What did Caleb Williams do? No. That,
Didn't grade out as a top 10 quarterback this week, even, I'm sure.
But no, I mean, I think he looked good, and like you said, add, and that's all we can expect from him at this point. So, I think I 100% agree with you. If we can get rushing yards, and I think that is not like a career day for him, 68 yards. Like that's something that we can incorporate in his game. I think. I don't think it should really ever be designed runs for him, but his scramble game should incorporate that more. I think so. Like you said, he's sneaky athletic, sneaky fast for his size. So, I mean, and Chuba just keeps freaking going, dude. It's been an entire year, minus like 1 or 2 games, where honestly it was more game script than it was him. That you just can't give it to him. So, I'm completely sold there. Again, defense. Give me more defense. I don't think Arizona's offense is that great. That's the better side of their game, but I think their record is. I don't know how they got to where they're at. I don't know how they got to playoff contention, but I was not impressed with that offense and our defense. Again, the most undrafted guys on that side of the ball. So I think Josie Jewell had probably his best game as a Panther. And you said, I think last pod, Ashawn Robinson is starting to stick out to me too. So I think those couple guys in Wanham, I think, kind of opened the door for a secondary. And depending on where we're at, I mean, after this win, I know we're going to fall down, I think, 8 probably.
That's the only bad thing that came out of this.
Yeah.
Was,
but I mean,
I think maybe 7th. Maybe 7th.
I would much rather see this team learn how to finish games.
Absolutely,
games than
have 2 more,
or whatever in a draft.
Yeah.
So I liked it. I liked the whole game. Unfortunately, wasn't able to watch it. I watched it back as much as I could, and then I got to see the overtime, the last possession, and that's all I got. That's all local side showed me.
It's ridiculous.
But I mean, I was happy with it, and we have 2 more games, so keep building.
That's right. Keep building, baby. Keep climbing that ladder. There's one more clip I do want to show. I don't know if you got to see it because, like you said, you weren't able to see the game. But for all our cokeheads out there, Jalen Coker almost came down with a Catch of the Year candidate. Maybe not put it up that high, but I was thoroughly impressed with this. This was, I want to say third quarter. I can't remember 100%. Bryce, again, with the blitz on, throws a phenomenal throw only to where his receiver can get it. Man draped all over him, one-handed. Gets 1 foot in, only 1 foot. But
it's not college anymore, big guy.
It's not. But what a play, man. You're talking about an undrafted guy out of Holy Cross. Get him on the team, and I think he's going to be a big piece of this team for years to come. I don't think this year is a fluke. I think he's a really good route runner. He also is a lot faster than I thought he was, especially looking at that touchdown against the Cowboys. He really turned the Jets on, and he's got the best part of his game. I think he's got the best hands on the team besides Adam Thielen. It's Adam Thielen and it's Jalen Coker.
I mean, I think he's our speed guy next year with Leggett. Because does Thielen come back is another question. But I mean,
well, even if you have Thielen,
if
you have Thielen back, I still think Xavier is probably the speed guy. I still think he's the fastest receiver we have. Straight line speed. That's just look.
We can disagree.
We can disagree. That's fine. Just from South Carolina, from his 40-yard dash, from his game speed, he seems like the faster receiver overall. I think Jalen Coker has a more polished game as far as a route runner and catching the ball. God obviously knows Xavier has struggled with that so far in his rookie year, but I don't know. I mean, I think speed-wise it's Xavier. I would love to see us get via the draft or free agency like another gadget player to bring in for receiver, and then you have Coker and Leggett on the outside. and then have that guy, whoever that gadget player is, at the slot, maybe doing some jet passes, whatever the case is, there. So we'll see. Looks like you're looking up some stats or something over there, looking up some 40 times.
I'm looking up 40 times. Yes.
Oh, okay. He's looking up 40 times, folks. Yeah. Regardless, I think we have 2 rookie receivers that are going to contribute for years to come. I do believe that.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Yeah.
And that's, again, goes right back to what I've been saying since, probably we started this podcast. Give me the best defensive player on the board.
Yeah.
And that's where we start. I wouldn't mind. I'm with you. That kind of Curtis Samuel almost gadget player. Like, I think that adds something, especially you don't know what you're going to get from Jonathan Brooks either, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's 2 ACLs. That's real tough to come back from. So
hey, we saw Thomas Davis come back from 3.
Yeah, no, it's not out of the question, but I think
it
also
is tough.
being a skills position guy too. I think you get away with it being a linebacker a little bit, but obviously not taking anything away from that because that's.
Oh no, but I see what you're saying. There's a lot more cuts.
Yeah.
You're making a lot more sharp moves and things like that. But he's just going to
have a lot more hits down there.
Yeah,
right?
you're taking a lot more hits. He's just going to have to. He's going to have to learn keeping those legs under him and keeping a really strong base instead of reaching out and making that cut. That's where you force a. These guys are so strong, and they just produce so much momentum when they make cuts like that. That if your leg's just a little bit awkward and out of the base of your body, and you make that strong cut, you're screwing yourself. That's when you're getting ligament damage and God knows what else. But it'll be tough. Look what Dave Canales has done with the signing of Devin Tompkins from Tampa Bay when they cut him. Number 13. He only has like 2 or 3 plays a game, but guess what? They're always positive momentum gaining plays. They always gain yards, and he is a fast little sucker. Yep. That dude can run. So someone like that would be phenomenal to have with just some really, really quick acceleration and have that speed and that shiftiness, like you said, like a Curtis Samuel.
Look at Xavier Worthy in Kansas
exactly.
City, right?
Yeah, look at Xavier Worthy.
That's his best skill is his speed. His hands aren't that great. His route running is definitely not great.
Yeah, he's just fast, man.
It's speed.
He's fast. Yeah.
I want to formally apologize. You're right. Jalen Coker, 4.57 40, and Xavier Legette, 4.39. So
I appreciate it. Thank you for the apology.
I'll wear that one.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Hand up accountability, man. Always. That's what we're about. Oh, man. All right, well, yeah, 2 games left for the Panthers. We'll see how they finish out. Like you said, if we lose a couple positions in the draft, I would like to see the team as a whole grow more, the coaching staff grow more together and, be progressing, still climbing.
I'm a little afraid about the Falcons matchup. I was a little hopeful for that to be a win, but Penix looked good. So
yeah, all the pieces are there for Penix. He was a 4 or 5 year player in college, accurate guy, lefty. We'll see. Again, it was against the Giants, so I don't, I'm not. I think our defense is worse than the Giants, so I'm not saying that. But it wasn't like they played the Ravens or the Steelers or the Chiefs or a really, really good defense. So, but I do agree. He did look good. We can't take that away from him. But anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up. Is there anything you want to say to the folks out there?
No, I got it all out, man.
Got it all out?
I had my accountability. We're good.
Hey.
I couldn't have slept well if I didn't get that out.
That's the first time I've ever heard him say that to me. And it was awesome. That was my Christmas present from you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm in the giving spirit.
Yeah, you're the giving spirit. I love it. Obviously, we've both been nice.
The whole episode.
We stayed nice the whole episode. There were a couple moments we started talking about Carolina basketball. I almost switched that sucker around, but I held strong. We do have Christmas coming up, so I wanted to try and stay nice the best I could. But that will do it for us. Alongside Noah Borntrager, again, I'm Will Hunt. We want to wish all of you a Merry, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Enjoy it with your loved ones. Enjoy it with your friends and family. And we will see y'all next time.